Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And today I just got in the Curry 4 Flotro, and these were the shoes that Steph Curry was wearing during the finals. I believe like throughout the entire playoffs too. He wasn't really wearing the Curry 9 as much. He was actually playing like the purple colorway. I got this like really nice peach pink colorway and I got it on eBay, so I wonder when Under Armour is going to release this. I mean, there have been no rumors. They said they were going to release it on like Finish Line, like you know, the release date on Finish Line or Champs or whatever. It said it was going to release like a couple months ago, but it never did. Like there was an actual date, you know, and then it never released. But anyways, here's my first impressions, thoughts on the Curry 4 Flotro, and let's get it started off with the tracciones. And the traction, of course, is the exact same as the Curry 8. So we have the Flow outsole, right? And Flow is amazing if you want a great traction. I mean, Under Armour's been giving us amazing traction, right? And it's pretty much the identical actually to the Curry 8. Like, look, you know, it's the same. Now, the midfoot chain plate is exactly the same as well. And as far as the overall design of the midsole, it's pretty much identical too. Like here in the Curry 4 Flotro, this part is painted, and the Curry 8 it is not, but that's pretty much the only difference, right? So of course the Curry 4 Flotro is probably going to have amazing traction. You're gonna stop on a dime. It stops almost too hard, right? It hurts your feet, or at least it hurt my feet when I was stopping. You know, the bite is just too good on a clean court, picks up very minimal dust, and if it picks up dust, it's super easy wipe, all the good stuff. So there is a traction that's pretty much identical to the Curry 8. Of course, we have the Curry 9, but the Curry 9 is a little bit different, right? The actual pattern and also like the midfoot chain plate, we have like two little triangles here in the midfoot. There is that. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, also it feels very, very smooth. We have a crazy curve shape here in the heel, right? We have a fully exposed midsole as well. And here in the forefoot, we have a very curved shape and a lot of forefoot flex. So, I mean, Flow is just super nice. It's flexible and it's just a very smooth feeling cushion, you know? So yeah, heel to toe transition overall right now feels very, very nice. And as far as the cushioning setup goes, it feels pretty nice as well. Court feel is very good, especially here in the forefoot. We have a nice little soft compression as well. I mean, it's not like anything crazy. It's just a little bit of softness, a little bit of compression and stuff like that. The insole seems like a regular ortholite insole, which feels nice for step and comfort. And it's identical to the Curry 8. Right, so there is the cushioning setup there, nothing really at all different, right? Now moving on to the materials. The materials is where they changed it up a lot, right? So as far as the original Curry 4 goes, the original Curry 4, if you like, I saw an interview that Steph Curry did, and Steph Curry said the Curry 4 was his favorite shoe in his entire line, which is kind of crazy, right? But I guess we do have favorites, right? So the Curry 4, the material was so damn thin. Look at that, super duper thin. But when you first got it, this fuse right here was pretty stiff, right? And it did hurt, like right here, you know, where the shoe bends, right? So there was definitely a good amount of pinching for me personally, and like every single colorway of the Curry 4 that I played it, right? And I have like 6-7 colorways of the Curry 4. I really, really like the shoe. So yeah, I mean, that definitely was a little bit of a problem, and once you broke it in, it did definitely get better, but it still wasn't like the most comfortable material, right? But here in the Curry 4 Flotro, they changed it all up. The fuse is gone, and we have a really nice suede material. It seems very good quality as well. So it's here in the forefoot, it extends all the way here into the midfoot and comes around into the ankle area. Also kind of comes up, you know, with this little circle in the ankle area, just like the original Curry 4. Right? You guys remember this? I really like it. It's super soft here in the forefoot, and I really like this suede material. It's super soft, it's relatively thin, and it conforms to your foot extremely well. There's no pinching at all. It's just really, really comfortable material on foot, right? And also we have pretty much the same exact like knit material. This knit is super stretchy here in the collar area, and also where the tongue's supposed to be, right? So of course this is a one booty upper, but it's a super stretchy material, which I really like. So it like kind of stretches over your foot, and I really like that feeling. It's pretty much the same as the original Curry 4. So I definitely think this is an upgrade. The fuse, of course, I mean, this is like super thin, right? But it is a little stiff, and there was a little bit of pinching. I definitely feel like I like it better than the fuse because it is softer and it's not like that much thicker either, right? And also we have like these lines, right? Reminiscent of the original Curry 4 as well. right? But the Curry 4 had a lot more lines. The Flotro has bigger lines, right? So there's that. Also, here on the medial side, the laces go through just the upper, but here on the lateral side, we have like lace loops. And then here in the Curry 4, it actually didn't do that. The laces just went through the upper for both the lateral and medial side of the shoe. But the overall materials, the quality is great and it feels really, really nice on foot. Moving on to the fit. I went true to size and it fits me a little bit short, like my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe. It reminds me a lot of the Curry 8 actually. Remember the Curry 8 did, you know, run a little short. So if you don't like that, I would suggest going up half a size. If you want a really snug fit lengthwise, then you should be fine going true to size, but just be careful. I feel like for most people, you should go up half a size. And if you have a wide foot or you want a roomier fit, then go up a full size, right? But here in the toe box, it is quite snug. It's not as snug as the Curry 9 actually. The Curry 9 is really, really snug, and so is the Curry 8. Right? But the Curry 4 Flotro feels a little bit roomier. And it's not to the point where I feel like it's super uncomfortable or anything, but it is just a tiny bit roomier here in the toe box. And also it is a little narrow, right? So it's pretty similar to like Curry's overall fit, but I would say the Curry 4, right? The Curry 4 is a little bit, or actually a good amount more snug, and so is the Curry 9 and also the Curry 8, right? So I don't know what they did, but they did make it a little bit more roomier for the Curry 4 Flotro for some reason. So there is the fit there. Also a super easy shoe to put on, right? This knit definitely does stretch out a lot. So you just slide your foot in like a sock and you're good to go, lace it up. So there's that. Moving on to the support and lockdown, I feel like it's gonna be very good, right? So this suede material feels pretty supportive. And if you guys remember, the Curry 4 had this plastic piece, right? And I believe this plastic piece was all one piece with like this mid-foot chain plate. But the Curry 4 Flotro doesn't have that because we have this from the Curry 8, right? And it's now, this part is just like a leather material. So we have that for lateral containment. The foam does come up to act as a sidewall, and we have an internal heel counter as well. So yeah, I mean, I feel like lateral containment is going to be good. Also, as far as coziness goes, let's touch on coziness, right? So this material does feel pretty damn cozy because it is a suede. It's very, very soft, right? And then the knit kind of like stretches over your foot as well. It's not a super, it's a very thin knit actually. So I really like that as well. Also here in the ankle area, we have very minimal padding, right? It's just like we have a very small amount of padding here in the back of the heel. So overall it feels minimal, but also kind of like cozy, which is a nice combination. It's not a combination that we get quite often, just because, you know, usually materials are either like super thin or like thicker and cozier, you know what I mean? It's not like a thin material can be cozy, but I actually really like how it feels here in the Curry 4 Flotro. Also for lateral stability, we have a very wide base. Also, you're low to the ground, so I mean, just like in the Curry 8, I feel like lateral stability is going to be good. And ankle support, I mean, we have this. It's a very flimsy material. Same thing here in the Curry 4, so it's not going to be the best for ankle support. All right, moving on to the weight of this shoe. I feel like it's going to be actually pretty light. I don't think it's going to be as light as the Curry 4 though. The Curry 4 is super light. But the Flotro is 11.08 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 11.11 ounces. So yeah, that's very, very light. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So yeah, this shoe feels really lightweight, and I feel like it's going to be a very responsive shoe as well. Let's check the Curry 9. The Curry 9 is 10.19 ounces. Yeah, it's lighter. That definitely does make sense, just because suede, I feel like this suede material is a little bit thicker, and it'll definitely be a little bit heavier than this material here in the Curry 9. Let's check the original Curry 4 though. The original Curry 4 also is lighter, it's 10.37 ounces, and then the Curry 8 is probably around there as well. Yeah, 10.58 ounces. So the Curry 4 Flotro is definitely like a little bit heavier than all these other shoes, but it's definitely not heavy at all. So there's the weight there. Moving on to the aesthetics, I absolutely love it. The Curry 4 definitely is one of my favorites aesthetically in his entire line. And the Curry 4 Flotro looks very similar. I mean, the upper is pretty much the same, right? But what do you guys think, right? So of course we have retros. Retros are shoes that are retro. It's pretty much the same exact shoe with very, very little differences, right? And then of course we have protros like in Kobe's, where the shoe looks pretty much exactly the same, but the cushion is pretty much the only thing that is changed, right? And of course that does improve upon the performance. But now we have Flotros, right? So the Curry 4 Flotro, this is not really the Curry 4. You know what I mean? It like doesn't look that, it looks similar, but it's not the same shoe. You know what I mean? Like if you wanted the Curry 4, it's like it's a different shoe overall. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think? Do you like Flotro? I mean, it probably is an improvement in performance, right? The cushioning setup is definitely way nicer. I mean, the Curry 4 was just a regular EVA foam, which was terrible. And then the Flow, although it's not the best as far as like softness goes or bounce or whatever, it's still like nicer than the Curry, like original Curry 4, right? But it looks so different, you know? And the upper looks, I mean, I guess like the upper is very similar, but I mean, it is a different choice of materials with the suede. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like how Under Armour is doing that? You know, with the Flotro, making it like a very different shoe, but not? Or do you guys want to see like a retro of the Curry 4? Or maybe they can just change the cushioning setup and Protro it, right? Maybe make this EVA like a nice charged cushion or hover or whatever. Or probably not hover because it has mesh. Maybe charged or micro G, right? But anyways, tell us your thoughts on that. But my overall thoughts on the Curry 4 Flotro are good. I really like how it feels on foot. I like the suede, and it still feels like a very lightweight shoe as well. It looks great, and I feel like it's gonna be an amazing performer as well. The price, we don't know yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be around 160 bucks because the Curry 9 is 160 bucks. So there is my first impressions of the Curry 4 Flotro. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.